headlines of VTV News. Vietnam and Mongolia enhance economic ties. Vietnam maintains key destination for foreign direct investment. And later on in our world news, Israel-Hezbollah fight rages as ground offensive intensifies.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to VTV News, broadcast live to you from Hanoi. You're with me, Lina Fatman. Here's the top news of the hour. Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm met with representatives from outstanding Mongolia economic organizations in Ulaanbaatar on Tuesday during his state visit to Mongolia. First Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Economy and Development Taukmidin Dojikhan led the Mongolian business delegation.
Mongolian economic representatives expressed satisfaction with the cooperation between the two countries and their interest in exploring investment opportunities in Vietnam, particularly in aviation, mining, clean food, logistics, and tourism. General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm addressed various questions from Mongolian businesses, highlighting that upgrading Vietnam and Mongolia to a comprehensive partnership will initiate a new phase in bilateral cooperation. He noted Vietnam's goal of becoming a developing country with modern industry and upper middle income by 2030 and a high-income, developed nation by 2045. Meanwhile, Mongolia is focusing on its new revival policy and strategic goals under its Vision 2050, aimed at enhancing its international role and status, reflecting shared goals between the two nations. The Vietnamese top leader emphasized the significant potential for cooperation in the digital economy and green growth through renewable energy, biotechnology, and information technology.
I had a productive meeting with your country's president and am pleased with our 70 years of bilateral cooperation. We should continue to support each other for the benefit of our peoples, regional stability, and global peace, focusing on economic cooperation. Vietnam warmly welcomes Mongolian enterprises to deepen collaboration, and we are committed to creating favorable conditions for all foreign businesses to thrive. Your success is our success.
General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm affirmed that Vietnamese ministries are ready to support businesses in fostering economic development between the two countries. He urged both sides' agencies to coordinate closely to facilitate market access for agricultural products and strengthen logistics cooperation to promote trade.
Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm visited the Vietnamese embassy and met with representatives of the Vietnamese community in Mongolia on Tuesday as part of his state visit to the country. Regarding the Vietnamese community in Mongolia, the top leader emphasized that the community must continue promoting the spirit of solidarity, grow stronger, actively integrate, comply with Mongolian law, and contribute to the host country's development and Vietnam-Mongolia comprehensive partnership. He urged the Vietnamese embassy in Mongolia to uphold its role as a bridge connecting the two countries and their ministries and sectors to effectively implement agreements between the high-ranking leaders of the two nations. This includes a joint statement on the establishment of the Vietnam-Mongolia Comprehensive Partnership and coordination to effectively promote all-round cooperation. The embassy was also asked to dutifully perform community-related affairs and protect citizens in the country. Vietnam and Mongolia issued a joint statement on the establishment of the Comprehensive Partnership during a state visit by General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam's Central Committee and State President Tô Lâm from September the 30th to October the 1st. The leaders of both countries held that the development and intensification of the Vietnam-Mongolia relations match common interests of the two peoples, significantly contributing to regional and global peace, stability, and development. They agreed to elevate bilateral ties to the Comprehensive Partnership and continue to boost cooperation expansion. Vietnam and Mongolia will strengthen political cooperation, bolstering ties between the legislative bodies and maintaining the effectiveness of the political consultation mechanism at the Deputy Foreign Minister level. They underscored the importance of maintaining peace, security, and stability in the East Sea, along with peacefully resolving disputes on the basis of the United Nations Charter. This was emphasized for the 1982 UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. Now moving on to other news, addressing Innovate Vietnam 2024, which also marked the 5th anniversary of the National Innovation Center, NIC, on Tuesday, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính affirmed that innovation is an ongoing process with no boundaries. He stressed that Vietnam must consistently strive to keep pace, advance collectively, and excel in the field of human innovation.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính highlighted that the party and state of Vietnam will prioritize science, technology, and innovation as key components for rapid and sustainable development. Innovation is essential for enhancing productivity, quality, efficiency, and competitiveness across the economy. Vietnam currently has around 4,000 innovative startups, over 200 investment funds, and more than 100 incubators and innovation centers. Vietnam also jumped 2 places in the Global Innovation Index 2024 from 2023 and 4 places from 2022. The Prime Minister stated that Vietnam faces significant opportunities alongside challenges in science, technology, and innovation, with technological competitiveness being the greatest issue compared to other countries.
Innovation must be a strategic choice and a top priority for the country's industrialization, modernization, and sustainable development. It should focus on people and businesses as core drivers, especially the younger generation, who are the future leaders. Furthermore, innovation requires bold thinking, taking risks, pushing limits, and committing to the nation's benefit and future.
The Prime Minister outlined key tasks to enhance innovation in Vietnam, including refining institutions, boosting infrastructure investment, and attracting financial support for research in artificial intelligence, semiconductors, green energy, cloud computing, and the Internet of Things. He stressed the importance of developing high-quality human resources and international cooperation, assigning specific roles to ministries, agencies, enterprises, scientists, and youth. He also called for collaboration with development partners to support these initiatives. The Prime Minister asked the National Innovation Center of the Ministry of Planning and Investment to create a more favorable environment for innovation, startups, investment, and the development of high and digital technology. On this occasion, the Prime Minister declared October 1st as National Innovation Day.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on Tuesday chaired a meeting of the Government Standing Committee with the Vietnam Fatherland Front as well as ministries and agencies. The meeting discussion was on promoting the implementation of a program to eliminate substandard housing for poor and near-poor households across the country. Government leaders, ministries and agencies have highly agreed on the determination to promote the emulation movement, joining hands to eliminate temporary and dilapidation dilapidated houses nationwide, launched by the Prime Minister on April the 13th of this year. At the same time, they discussed and proposed many solutions to mobilize resources for implementation. Concluding the meeting, Prime Minister Phie acknowledged and commended the ministry's branches, localities, agencies, enterprises, and people for responding to emulation movement. He especially thanked the Vietnam Fatherland Front, the Ministry of National Defense, the Ministry of Public Security, and the State Bank for their great work in previously eliminating temporary and houses for people. The Prime Minister emphasized that in 2025, the whole country must complete 3 major goals, include building houses for people with meritorious services, building houses according to the 3 national target programs, and eliminating more than 153,000 dilapidated and temporary houses for poor and near-poor households. Prime Minister Phie hosted a reception in Hanoi on October the 1st for Chinese ambassador to Vietnam, Theo, who came to pay his courtesy. The Prime Minister asked Ambassador to convey his best regards and congratulations from the Vietnamese high-ranking leaders to the leaders of the Party, State, and People of China on the occasion of the 75th anniversary of China's National Day. Prime Minister Phie emphasized that Vietnam consistently considers developing relations with China an objective requirement, a strategic choice, and a top priority in its overall foreign policy. He expressed gratitude to China for visiting and supporting Vietnam in responding to and overcoming the serious consequences caused by Typhoon Yagi. In particular, he appreciated the Chinese side for coordinating in sharing hydrological information and regulating the discharge of water from hydroelectric dams to minimize damage caused by floods. Chinese Ambassador Phie sincerely thanked Prime Minister Phie for taking the time to receive him on the 75th anniversary of China's National Day. The ambassador gave important opinions on the direction and key tasks to promote bilateral relations in the coming time. At the meeting, the Prime Minister suggested that the 2 sides strictly implement the high-level common perception on better controlling and resolving disagreements at sea. The Prime Minister also emphasized the need to respect each other's legitimate and legal rights and interests and properly handle disagreements in accordance with international law, including the 1982 UNCLOS. Vietnam has maintained a key destination for foreign direct investment, or FDI, as FDI inflows continue to increase. Total registered capital reached nearly $25 billion in the past 9 months, an increase of over 11.6% year-on-year. A number of global corporations are committed to establishing Vietnam as a major production hub in their supply chains.
Partnering with a local company that has 35 years of experience. This group aims to establish a large production center in Vietnam to dominate the regional market and achieve a global production capacity of 3 billion units per year by 2028. It is consistently investing in research and development.
Pharmaceutical leader with strong credentials. Obviously, there is already a strong foundation with, factories like the ones from VTV4.
FDI is both a financial and technological resource crucial for Vietnam's economic development. Recently, FDI disbursement reached $17.3 billion in the first 9 months, up nearly 9% year-on-year.
The province has invested in east-west connecting routes and has developed a system of expressways that connect both centrally and locally funded routes.
Alongside investment incentives, legal regulations on business investment are being amended to create favorable conditions for investors.
The ministry has recommended that the government and the National Assembly amend the law on public investment to remove legal obstacles, unlock resources for development, simplify procedures, and enhance decentralization and oversight.
International organizations report that Vietnam's stable macroeconomy, positive economic recovery, and global manufacturers' supply chain diversification are attracting significant FDI this year.
Thái Nguyên province has ramped up efforts to boost the value of its agricultural products by actively supporting a local OCOP One Commune, One Product initiatives and exemplary rural industrial goods in their trade promotion activities. More on the following story.
In Thái Nguyên province, sharing inspiring stories and compelling narratives behind their products has become a routine practice for cooperatives and farmers. This approach enables consumers to engage directly with their offerings. Events like the Mekong Delta OCOP Product Connection Forum has significantly expanded the reach of Thái Nguyên agricultural brand, boosting its overall value.
This creates an opportunity for us to showcase the specialty products of Thái Nguyên. More importantly, we can spread the cultural value of tea to other provinces.
Thái Nguyên proudly boasts over 240 OCOP products, along with numerous outstanding rural industrial items. Regular participation in trade promotion activities, particularly in expansive markets like the Mekong Delta, provides local cooperatives and OCOP entities with valuable opportunities for knowledge exchange and collaboration.
When I visited the OCOP booth from Thái Nguyên in Kiên I was impressed by the diverse range of products, from branding and packaging to the items themselves.
Supporting nearly 550 agricultural cooperatives, provincial departments and agencies are guiding these units in completing their processes, obtaining food safety certifications, and implementing traceability measures to achieve OCOP standards.
We provide comprehensive support, from enhancing management capacity to financial assistance, trade promotion, product labeling, and certification for agricultural cooperatives.
Having consistently participated in trade promotion activities in the Mekong Delta with notable results, Thái Nguyên province is committed to further expanding its market presence nationwide, aiming to export key agricultural products and enhance the value of local produce.
Coming up next, announcement of the 2024 Amnesty decision. And Khmer people in need celebrated Sen Dalta in new homes. Welcome back to VTV News. More than 3,700 inmates who are serving prison sentences and are having their sentences temporarily suspended on October the 1st are being allowed to return to their families under the state president's amnesty decision. Permanent Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Hòa Bình, chairman of the 2024 Amnesty Advisory Council, attended the ceremony to announce the state president's decision on amnesty in 2024 in Ninh Khánh Prison, Ninh Bình Province. The Deputy Prime Minister congratulated the inmates of Ninh Khánh Prison who were granted amnesty this time. There were 96 people who had good behavior and were released from prison before the end of their term. The Deputy Prime Minister said that the 2024 amnesty continues and promotes the humanitarian tradition of the Vietnamese people. With the lenient policy of the party and state, previously more than 90,000 people have been granted amnesty. On the same day, the announcement ceremony of the amnesty decision for inmates eligible for the party and state's leniency policy was held simultaneously at prisons nationwide. Before returning to reunite with their families, the inmates are given citizen identification cards, phone SIM cards, new clothes, travel expenses, and more. The destruction caused by recent flash floods and landslides in Viet Vinh Commune, Bắc Quang District, Hà Giang Province has been severe. Nearly 1/5 of households in the village have lost their homes or suffered significant damage. 3 lives were lost and 3 individuals remain missing. The accounts of survivors who narrowly escaped the disaster remind us of the increasing unpredictability of natural calamities.
3 days after the landslide, 84-year-old woman has never felt death so close. As debris began cascading toward her kitchen, she instinctively pulled her daughter to safety. Just 10 minutes later, the earth roared, and their home was buried.
My disabled child sat beside me, looking outside. As I dragged my daughter out, the house collapsed. We fell face down on the ground. My child couldn't escape, and she died just a meter away.
For the eldest daughter, survival came at a heavy price. She and her mother escaped, but her younger sister did not.
We thought the high hill wouldn't pose a threat, and we were somewhat complacent, so we failed to move away in time.
In addition to those confirmed dead and missing, 8 others were injured, 4 of whom are in critical condition and are receiving treatment at local hospitals. The recovery process for residents affected by the floods in Hà Giang will be lengthy. New cracks continue to appear in the ground, heightening concerns. The General Staff of the Ministry of Defense has used drones to assess the risk of further landslides, identifying a crack 3 to 5 meters wide that poses a significant threat. Meanwhile, rescue teams are working tirelessly to clear National Route 2 and restore access to the area.
This year, many Khmer families facing housing difficulties are looking forward to their important Sendota holiday with joy. This is because they have new spacious homes to celebrate in. The gifts given under the National Target Program to rid Vietnam of temporary, dilapidated houses have helped Khmer families stabilize their lives and improve their economic conditions.
This house was handed over at the end of August, fulfilling the dream of this 80-year-old woman. She's happy now that she gets to celebrate her Sendolta in this new home for the first time.
I'm so happy to receive the new house and celebrate Senadolta to honor my ancestors. I'll also visit the temple during the holiday. It's really exciting to have a house.
Many houses were built on allocated land in Ca Town, and with financial support for Khmer families in need. The initiative not only brings joy during the Senadolta holiday, but also strengthens the confidence of the local Khmer community. It is part of the National Target Program on Socioeconomic Development in Ethnic Groups, which aims to transform the living standards of ethnic people.
Now I have a home to celebrate Senadolta in, and I feel less worried about housing thanks to the government's support.
So far, the district has mobilized resources to build 38 houses valued at $77,000 for low-income and near-poverty households, including those of ethnic groups. Additionally, the district has organized vocational training courses for rural workers, helping to improve both the material and spiritual lives of the local community, contributing to social welfare and overall development.
In response to the Prime Minister's temporary and dilapidated house removal campaign, hundreds of new homes have been constructed with support from Can Tho City. By the end of this year, the city aims to complete the construction of 445 homes for near-poverty households, enabling them to settle down and focus on improving their livelihoods.
Coming up next in our world news, Israel-Hezbollah fight rages as ground offensive intensifies. And Thai school bus catches fire, 25 feared dead. Israel's military reported early on Tuesday that its forces had begun targeted ground raids on villages in southern Lebanon, supported by airstrikes and artillery. In a recent statement, the Israeli military warned Lebanese civilians to avoid moving from the northern area to the southern region of the Litani River, where intense clashes are ongoing with Hezbollah forces. According to the Israeli military, its 98th Division, comprising commandos, paratroopers, and an armored brigade, has been ordered to carry out limited, localized, and targeted raids in southern Lebanon. In response, the Hezbollah force declared it's ready to face the Israeli ground offensive. The force also announced on Tuesday that they had launched rockets at the Israeli military intelligence base of Glilot and the Mossad headquarters located on the outskirts of Tel Aviv. At least 2 Israeli residents sustained injuries in the attack. A bus carrying young students with their teachers caught fire in suburban Bangkok, Thailand on Tuesday, with at least 25 feared dead. The bus was carrying 44 passengers, including 38 students and 6 teachers from central Uthai Thani province for a school trip. 19 of those on board have been hospitalized. Investigations were underway to identify the cause of fire, though initial reports suggested a tire failure on a highway, sending the bus crashing into a barrier and bursting into flames. Thai Prime Minister Pathongthan Shinawatra offered condolences to the victims' families. Japan's parliament elected Shigeru Ishiba, leader of the governing Liberal Democratic Party, as the new prime minister on Tuesday of Japan. Ishiba was elected to replace former Prime Minister Kishida Fumio, paving the way for a fresh cabinet. Following an extraordinary diet session, Ishiba secured overwhelming votes from both the House of Representatives and the House of Councillors. Earlier, Ishiba had reshuffled the Liberal Democratic Party's managing body and planned new cabinet positions. Upon taking office, the new prime minister is expected to dissolve the House of Representatives and call for a general election on October the 27th. And now let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that's it for this edition of VTV News. Thank you very much for watching. To rewatch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store or Google Play, or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4Go. Goodbye for now.